Nothing beats a solid VCT playoffs, and the number of upsets and shocking turn of events in Masters Toronto has just been insane. I mean, what even is this?
Into the stack. Oh, this is going to be explosive! Yep. Swinging. They're just trying to chop these players down to the knees. Vulnerable dump. What is that? Every single player says that.
And this insane 2v4 clutch for the trophy.
Patience is there, but a paranoia. Hold on, you out with your hands. Forsaken. He's ISO'd the fights. And something is wrecking them from on high. Paper X, do it all.
What a tournament, and what a full circle moment for the uncrowned kings of W Gaming. I digress. Surely a major shift in the meta is bound to naturally occur alongside a brand new tier list. Are the mobility duelists still dominating the game? Do the stalling sentinels still control the rounds? Let's find out. But before we get into it, if you feel like you've been struggling in ranked recently, then we have got an absolute treat for you. Over at SkillCapped, we have recently published a brand new Calm Aim course that details how any one of you could develop Radiant level aim in just a few weeks. Now, while most players just aim in whatever way that feels most comfortable to them, it might surprise you to hear that there's actually a proper aiming technique that pros use to not only make themselves more consistent, but to also help them get more kills like this. In our course, we're going to teach you this proper technique and even provide you with an aim training routine that you can use to instantly start improving your aim and climbing today. Now, unlike other routines, this is a simple, less than 15-minute exercise that you can do before you play that's going to do wonders for your aim. Not only that, but our site is literally backed by a rank improvement guarantee. So if you don't climb, you simply do not pay. If you're really looking to climb this act and want to actually start fragging out in your matches, be sure to check out our new Calm Aim course using the link below. Yoru and Reyna are the two prominent duelists of the S tier, not just because of how dominant and frequently used they are in Toronto, but also their efficiency in various maps. Now, over the course of Masters Toronto, we've seen a significant increase in Yoru's usage, especially in maps like Pearl, Haven, Split, and even Ascent. So yes, gone are the days when it's just the typical Jett or Rays being cycled over and over. Pro players like Something of Paper X, Juicy of Wolves, and Kayak of Fnatic have shown us a myriad of dominant plays and creative ideas on how to maximize the Dimensional Trickster. Remember this highlight?
Right now, could be the final round, final map that we're looking at here.
Or this one?
Erika and B-Main and Juicy's definitely expecting it with the cyber cage up and on the side. Here come RRQ. Juicy's only got a short window. He's found two dimensional drifts. He's going to see it all and crucially get out alive. Shieldfat locks it down on the side. And RRQ collapsing in a screaming heap. Shieldfat tries to finish the job, and there's the annihilation.
How about this?
Now into the back in the space right there. They have no idea. They are none the wiser. Kayak, it's your time to shine, and shine he does. Absolutely ridiculous.
There was absolutely no shortage of Yoru highlights, and it just proves how insanely useful and flexible he is. As long as you don't mind putting in the time and effort to really learn the agent and be creative with his kit, I dare say you can easily dominate your ranked games as much as these top Yoru players in the playoffs. As for Reyna, she brings a consistently dominant presence in maps like Lotus, Sunset, Split, and sometimes even Pearl for the rest of the teams who aren't too particular with the Yoru meta. And honestly, she's still a pretty damn good choice. Her aerial movement and explosive prowess allow her to bypass and somewhat counter the tricky setups of vyse, who's literally been the top dog of all Sentinel agents for a while now. And if you were to ask who the poster boy is for this agent in Toronto, why none other than Jing himself. He seems to just always know how to be all up in your face in just a few seconds, leaving you with little to no time to respond. And finally, we set our sights on Neon, who also comes as a close third when it comes to impactful duelist in the current meta. With stalling sentinels still dominating the scene, sometimes the round gets decided based on who can outpace who first. And Neon's capacity to run marathons around each and every map is a major threat, whether in a full-on rush or fake play. Baiting rotations and outrunning the enemy as you take the least populated site? Sprint. Need a quick distraction and a default play to bait utilities and trigger traps? Sprint. Thanks to Zekin and Texture, Neon's been getting more attention despite the slide nerf that was supposedly the agent's downfall in the meta. Now, it's safe to say there's no slowing down Valorant's Speedy Gonzalez in the foreseeable future. Finally, the most recent patch, we actually saw some buffs to Waylay as well as some nerfs to Phoenix, Reyna, and Neon. The Waylay buffs do seem interesting, but aside from those, we really don't see these changes impacting the meta too much. We'll definitely keep an eye on Waylay to see if she moves up in the coming weeks, but as for the other duelists, they'll likely remain more or less the same after these recent changes. For our beloved controllers, we're also seeing a significant increase in double controller comps with Omen and Viper running the scenes. Now, this is honestly a refreshing take on Viper becoming more prominent again because, let's face it, she hasn't been getting much attention since the nerf on Poison Cloud, Viper's Pit, and Gas Duration. And if there's anything Viper proved in Masters Toronto, it's that whatever the map is, she'll always be a viable secondary controller, lurker, and pseudo-sentinel. The harmonious combo and flexibility that Viper and Omen naturally have started as a meta pick in Icebox. Eventually, more teams realized that the duo also worked wonders on maps like Split, Lotus, and Haven. Having both on your team allows defenders to keep cycling their smokes as well as creating early denial of space. Viper's wall can cover up to 2 sites and choke points depending on the map, while Omen can focus on cycling one-ways. If the enemy disrespects Viper's wall, they risk peek and wall decayed. If the enemy disrespects Omen's one-ways, they'd already be dead before they could even see you. It's almost always a completely foolproof setup that can translate really well in your ranked games, especially if done correctly. And for the doubters who think Omen is no good on a map like Icebox, just look at how the landscapes of B main and A side appear on the minimap in these clips. You can tell there is plenty of room for creative ideas with it. The coverage of his paranoia is just too good and can easily be used as a kickstarter for early aggression on B main and retake on A side in Icebox. Too good to waste if you ask me. Thanks to these insane usage and combinations we're getting, Viper goes up to A, while Omen secures a spot in the S tier. Now, another controller that's on our radar is Astra, and while we don't necessarily see her as much as the aforementioned duo, she's definitely no slouch when it comes to providing an all-around support system for the team. Being able to manipulate the entire map spaces from anywhere as you please is just a broken tool to work with, especially with a creative mind like Boasters. Remember that kayak Yoru highlight? Yes. Only Astra is capable of creating tight, soundproof spaces like those that perfectly synergize with Yoru's gate crash. And with Yoru remaining a dominant presence in the game, it is a strategy that's always worth giving a shot. So setting our sights on the culprits of the previous utility dump meta, the Initiators have actually quieted down a bit compared to their mayhem earlier this year. Tejo's rarely been a pick in Toronto, and it was only Trent from G2 who still uses the agent. With the unforgiving Rockets out of the picture, Intel agents like Sova and Fade carry the banner of the Initiators. I mean, it's not like Sova's been a bad agent since then. It's quite the opposite. He's been a consistently solid pick who has unparalleled info gathering. It just so happened that the Tejo and Breach combo overshadowed him, but for now, we're seeing more of Sova again in VCT and ranked. It's almost like the world of Valorant is healing per se. Now, as for Fade, she comes as a close second to Sova with her teamfight prowess. If you've got a good lineup with Fade, you might as well just have a wall hack cheat in your games. Oh, and the number of times she can get an easy combo with agents like Raze? Absolutely diabolical. Ain't that right, Jogamo? What a combo indeed. Surely that doesn't happen again in the same playoffs, right? Oh, okay. Yep, that's still Jogamo, but against a different team. That's just brutal. Anyway, Fade brings a lot to the table with every bit of her kit. Apart from info gathering and teamfight support, Nightfall paired with Gate Crash or Dimensional Drift? That's too damn good. I mean, just look at this. Yoru gathers info, Fade sends the Nightfall, then Yoru pops out unnoticed. This shouldn't even be fair, man, and it's just one of the brokenly good strats you can pull off with a Fade and Yoru on your team. Now, in other news, Kayo's making a comeback to the A tier because of how dominant his presence is against overwhelming setups. With a number of team comps incorporating stalling sentinels like Vyse, Deadlock, or even Killjoy and Cipher, suppression is your answer. A well-placed 0 point goes a long way in creating openings for your team, especially with those pesky setups. And once you have your null command, gone are all the setups and utility dumps. Imagine pairing null command with Vyse's Steel Garden. Might as well just shut your PC down and play Minecraft or something. Finally, we reach the dreaded Sentinels, who have constantly made every attacking a traumatic experience. Vyse remains a beacon of hope for Sentinels as she's unmoved from her spot in the S tier. And at this point, I'm going to be honest here. I don't even know if she's broken, needs a nerf, or is just too good at what she does. We used to be stuck with just KJ or Cipher, but now almost every team uses Vyse, and who can honestly blame them? Her presence alone makes you rethink every single decision or strategy. Now, she might not be as popular and ranked as she has been for the past 2 Masters, but that's mainly because people are intimidated with her kit and steep learning curve. But I believe that she's just like Yoru. Learning and mastering the agent can take a hot minute, but the rewards are bountiful. When it comes to overall team impact, at least in the current meta, I guarantee no other Sentinel rules quite as large. Nevertheless, Cipher is still a great pick in almost any map because of his ability to cover multiple flank areas and sites. If you have unbreakable tripwires, you're going to force enemies to use a molly, shock dart, TP, or whatever utility just to bypass them. But the beauty of Cipher's massive changes really lies in how flexible your team can be with your defensive setup. As long as you got the info that the enemies haven't gone through your setups, you can practically keep pressuring and funneling them until they run out of time. His one-way cages are also a pain to deal with in every map, so it's really worth the effort to learn those setups and lineups. It's hard enough to worry about one-way smokes, but with Cipher in the picture, all the more devastating. Lastly, we're going to give some love to our Killjoy, who's still a pretty decent pick despite the limitation of her traps. Toaster oven setups.
There we go.
Oh, look at that anti-TP sets up!
Oh, it's so sick!
Check. Lockdown to open the site.
There it is. G2 forced to clear this one out. They can overstay for a tad. Jorgamo is even squaring up. It's a bit of a challenge, but you've got to respect it.
He looked like he was going to stay there.
Slow orb might be critical in that spot.
Check. If you're looking for a more aggressive style setup that allows you to create space or anchor sites, she is still your main gal. She may not be as effective as Vyse when it comes to stalling, but her AoE and damage utilities, still one of a kind, still a menacing threat to society.
Alright though guys, before we wrap this up, let's tell you a little bit more about SkillCapped. So we offer a 5-division rank up guarantee, and we think that's a pretty crazy thing to offer. It's kind of like a gym membership guaranteeing you that you're gonna get ripped. Your local gym would probably go bust if they offered you that. But not us, because we've offered this for years because our service really does work. It works so well, in fact, that we're able to produce by far the largest catalog of premium Valorant guides on the internet. We add new courses every month with over 1,000 guides curated into over 50 courses. No one can compare. We also have a direct line of communication with subscribers in our Discord so that you can get connected immediately to some of the best players in the game who will respond to every question you ask. Sign up today for as little as $6.99 a month if you're serious about improving your game. So that's going to be all for this one today, everyone. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.